Hello, this is Dylan, and I'm going to be making a how to load from source products to virtual products inside Flxpoint. So with your current sources already configured, once they're already done, we have EverTech and US Direct right now. We'll go up to products and source products. And so you'll see all the products that have been loaded into the catalog thus far. And this is direct raw data from your source. If you want to only create virtuals from EverTech or only create virtuals from US Direct, you can do so here. But really a lot of the power in Flxpoint is doing both at the same time and creating virtual products based on overlapping values from both of these suppliers. So for this example, we're going to do EverTech and US Direct. And what we'll do first is we'll select these two, and I just click and hold Control to select both. We will click here, and we'll see that all 50 on the page are selected, but we won't want all 50, we want all of them in total. So that's 227,000 in total that we'll be creating virtuals from. We'll then go to Queue Actions, Add to Virtual Builder. And so this will queue up all 227,000 of those into our virtual builder. So this doesn't create the virtuals, it just tells the system, these are the ones that I want to load given the rules that we're going to set in just a minute. So with 227,000 products, just give it a little bit of time here to actually complete loading, and we'll move on from there. All right, so now that that's done, we can come over to Build Virtuals, and we'll see that this many are currently queued. And then we will create our virtual builder. Now, the first thing to do when we are creating a virtual builder is to scroll all the way down here and check that we do have a mapping template available. So we must create one before proceeding. We'll go to Builders, Source to Virtual, and for inventory source integration, so if we're pulling information from inventory source, you can use Generate Default Template, but if it's not, if you are using an outside source, you'll create a new template. So for Generate Default Template, that's what we'll use. It'll give you all of the fields that we're importing from inventory source. And if you do want to change these up, you're able to. Like for example, if I want my category 2 to be my category 1 and my category 1 to be my category 2, you would configure it in that way. But for our purposes here, we want everything to remain basically the same. So we'll click Save. We'll go back to Products, Source Products, and everything will remain in our queue, even if you do leave that screen. So we still have that 227,000 queued up. We'll then create our virtual builder. And what we'll do here is we'll set kind of the precedents or the rules that we want to use when creating those virtuals. So how do we want to link these? Do we want to do it by UPC, MPN, EAN, ASIN, or all of them? The most common I see is going to be UPC, sometimes MPN, but I think UPC is probably the most consistent. Unless you know something about your data that I don't know, then go with whatever you know is best. So for linking products, if EverTech has product 123 and US Direct has product 123, do you want them to be listed as a single listing, or do you want them to be listed as two separate listings? For most, I'd say most use cases, linking the conflicts is probably best, but it's really up to you in terms of what you want to do. So for variant attachment rules, if using this example again, the EverTech product has 3 variants and the US Direct product has 5 variants. Do you want us to combine those total variants on that listing, or do you want us to keep them separate? Do you only want to load the 3 or load the 5? Again, I would probably do add as additional variants because on my listing, I want to make sure that all the products I have are available for purchase. Default product fields. If US Direct doesn't have a title but EverTech does, do we want to use that title, or do we want to leave it blank? And so for this kind of instance, I'd probably say we want to use that title. Same with the image. So if US Direct doesn't have an image, EverTech does, we do want to pull in that image for US Direct as well. Here's where you will do your conflict build priority. If you want US Direct to be preferenced over EverTech, or EverTech to be preferenced over US Direct, here's how you would set that. The top one is the higher preference, the lower one is the least preference. If you know that, for example, the title for EverTech is always better than the title for US Direct, here's where you would set that data field. Or alternatively, if you know that the description for US Direct is always better than the description for EverTech, it'll build it based off of this build priority. So everything else will be EverTech first, except the description, which will be US Direct. And so that's really kind of niche product knowledge or niche supplier knowledge. So if you know specifically that, yes, US Direct is always going to have a better description than EverTech, here's how you would set that level override. And then finally, we're going to select our mapping template that we just created. So source to virtual builder, we'll click continue. And then now we're ready to actually create those virtuals. We'll have those 227,000 queued. We're using this set of rules that we just configured, and then we can schedule that job here. And so that concludes how to build virtual products from your source products. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.